Was there something that came out of that campaign that maybe residents or someone brought up to you that was a bigger priority than you had imagined or had thought about before they brought it up to you that kind of shaped something that you want to do now?
The expansion of the COCC campus. I mean, I knew that was coming, but a few stars aligned. COCC is now going to ask for several $1 million for a new building. And I had been talking to an adjacent landowner, and my opponent had talked about a totally different approach. But what I'm looking at doing now is moving some private land, doing a land swap, so that land immediately adjacent to COCC would be available for that new campus building. So I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, we've got the pieces, it's just a matter of bringing them all together.
This new Redmond Hotel, why is that such a cornerstone of this revitalization? What's going to have to be done to get it up to speed at this point?
That hotel is a key component of downtown. And he talked about over time it's been used in a lot of different venues. The chamber used to hold their meetings there, and many people have used it over the years. It's a cornerstone. And it is on a major corner downtown, literally, right? And so it's both figuratively and literally a cornerstone of downtown. A lot of events over the years when it was a going concern have happened there. There are several businesses in the first floor that are going to stay there, you know, retail kinds of businesses. So there's that piece. Looking at the utility bill, there are several things on it. One concept could be to add a public safety fee. We chose not to do that for a couple of reasons. One is you can do it without a vote of the people, which I was totally against from the start. And there are other tools in your toolkit if you really want to do that. The one we considered and also rejected was a raise in our property tax rate. What we did was the budget committee found a few dollars. We had already built in 3 officers, so we added a 4th last year. Unfortunately, some of that money's coming out of parks. And now what we're looking at is other sources of revenue.
I know when we hire people and we get employees that move to the area, if they're looking between Bend and Redmond as far as where to live, a lot of their choices come down to affordability because they can just afford to live in Redmond better than they can in Bend.
Correct.
So let's just assume that that's a given across the board for Redmond's. Check that off for Redmond as being more affordable. But set that aside, if you have somebody coming here and they're trying to figure out where to live, what are some of the other things that you pitch to them about Redmond?
In some respects, and I don't like picking on Bend, but we fight very hard to maintain that hometown feel in Redmond. And when you get too big, you kind of lose that. We're pretty proud of those things and just keeping Redmond a community that people want to live in.
And you are one of the fastest growing metro areas in the country right now. So how do you keep that small town feel as you grow? Because the growth is going to happen.
I don't know.
That's the challenge, right?
It is a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, in a lot of respects, the soul of your community is what you're doing for your citizens. You know, the old live, work, and play paradigm. And in fact, they've added a 4th one, live, work, play, and retire. That's really important.
Thank you so much for joining.
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate you inviting me.